All right, we're going to be talking about notations. And here's a number line, and here's -4 on the number line, here's 3 on the number line. So -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it goes on forever, right? That's what these arrows mean, that goes on forever. Now let's say we were looking at some x values. Now 4 is not included, so that's where we have this little hollow dot. That's what it means that, we get really close to the -4, but we don't include it. But the 3 is included in here, and we're talking about everything in between. Okay, so let's say we're talking about some unknown value x. So x can be everything, from -4, not including -4, all the way up to 3, and including 3. Okay, that's how we would represent it on the number line. And then we have some other notations. We have set builder notation. So what we can say is like, look, x is everything greater than -4. Okay, so x is greater than -4, and x is less than, but it's also equal to 3, because 3 is included, right? So x is also less than 3. And then we put it in this fancy bracket notation like this. All right, and what this says is x is a member of the real numbers. All right, this line says such that. So so we're talking about the set of all x's that are members of the real numbers such that x is greater than -4 and less than or equal to 3. Okay, and then you close the set bracket. Okay, so this is called set builder notation. The other notation is called interval notation, and the book sometimes calls it bracket notation. Okay, and so what we do is this. We're saying that the -4 is not included, so the bracket kind of turns its back on the -4, right? And here we're saying the 3 is included, so the bracket turns towards the 3 and gives it a hug. So I always think of this bracket as being like the rejecto bracket. I reject you. And so the bracket turns its back on the -4. And here, this is the accepto bracket. The bracket saying, 3, we accept you. You're included. You're one of us. We like you. Okay, so the 3 is accepted, and here the -4 is rejected. Okay, so this is the rejecto bracket, and that's the accepto bracket. Okay, and so it just talks about whether that point is included or not. Okay, whether the -4 is included, and since it's not included, it is excluded or rejected, right? And here the 3 is included, so it's accepted, and it gets the accepto, it gets the hugging bracket, and this one gets the cold shoulder, all right? All right, let's look at another example. So let's say we're looking at 2, so everything from 2 all the way up. Okay, so we're starting at 2, and we're just continuing on to infinity and beyond. Okay, well, infinity just means we just keep going forever. Okay, it's not an actual point. So in set builder notation, we're saying, look, everything x is greater than 2. All right, and you always put the small stuff on the left-hand side and the big stuff on the right-hand side. Okay, so x is bigger than 2, so x is going on the right-hand side. All right, so we write it like that, and we put it into that bracket. So the set of all x's, and x is a member of the reals such that x is greater than 2, or 2 is less than x, you can say. All right, and then we close the brace bracket, and that's set builder notation. And we're saying x is greater than 2 because 2 is not included. All right, if 2 was included, we would say x is equal to or greater than 2. But it's everything on the right of 2, so it's everything greater than 2. All right, using our interval notation or our bracket notation, I like interval notation. Using interval notation, the 2 is not included, right? So the 2 is rejected, so we have the rejecto bracket right there. Okay, and we go on up to infinity. Now, infinity isn't a number. It's nothing you can reach. So you never quite get there. Okay, and that's why it's rejectoed. Okay, you cannot accept infinity. All right, it's not a number. It's a concept of ever-expanding numbers. So we can never really put it into the accepto. All right, let's look at another example. Let's say we're looking at the numbers between -7 and 1. The 1 is not included, and the 7 is included, let's say. Okay, so we're going from -7 to 1, and we're starting at -7, but we're not quite ever reaching the -1. Okay, so -7, -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1. Notice the numbers are getting bigger as we go to the right. All right, so that's the graphic representation. That's our number line. And set builder notation, so we're saying x is greater than -7, okay, or -7 is less than or equal to x. Okay, because the -7 is included, we have to put less than or equal to. Okay, so -7 is less than or equal to x, or x is greater than or equal to -7. You can read it that way as well. But you need the equal to. All right. Now, x is everything less, everything greater than equal to -7 and everything less than -1, but it's not equal to -1 because the -1 is not included. Okay? So we're going to say it's, so x is less than -1. All right? We don't have the equal sign because it's not included. All right, and then we put the rest of those brackets around there. So this is a set of all x's such that x is a member of the real numbers such that x is greater than or equal to -7 and less than -1. All right, in interval notation, we're going to put the -7 and the -1, and then we're going to put an excepto bracket around the -7, okay, and a rejecto bracket around the -1 because the -1 is just not included, so it's being rejected, okay? And that's it. That's it for the notations, all right? Have a good day.